Did you know that during the early months of World War I, a mysterious force emerged to rescue Europe? They were neither British nor French. They were warriors from India, soldiers who traversed two vast oceans to fight in the muddy, blood-soaked battlefield of the Western Front, thousands of miles from their homes. When the Great War erupted in 1914, the British Empire swiftly turned to its largest and most vital resource, British India. Within a mere few weeks, an astounding 1.5 million Indian soldiers and laborers were mobilized, ready to serve the Allied war effort. These were not just professional soldiers. They were farmers from Punjab, Muslim fighters from the rugged northwest frontier, and the legendary fearless Gurkhas from Nepal. They spoke diverse languages, worshipped different gods, yet they were united under a single flag. They were promised glory, fair wages, and a better life after the war. However, what truly awaited them was a brutal, frigid front, utterly alien to the tropical warmth of their homelands. Our narrative centers on the Lahore and Meerut divisions, the first two Indian infantry divisions to arrive on the Western Front. Their arrival was critically timed. The British Army was being pushed back relentlessly, and German forces were dangerously close to seizing vital Allied ports. It was in October 1914 at Ypres, Belgium, that they confronted the true horrors of modern warfare. Soldiers like the Sikhs and Dogras, accustomed to the searing sun of their native lands, now faced soul-numbing cold, incessant drizzle, and the constant threat of death lurking in waterlogged trenches. They lacked sufficient warm clothing, and their traditional vegetarian diets were often scarce or replaced by unfamiliar rations. Yet, their fighting spirit remained unbroken. In the ferocious Battle of Neuve Chapelle in 1915, the Indian troops demonstrated extraordinary valor. They fought with bayonets and the fearsome Gurkha kukri knives when ammunition dwindled. A Sikh soldier named Karnal Singh famously wrote home in a letter, "The mud here swallows a soldier's boots whole. But when we see our friends fall, we no longer feel the cold. Only a fire of rage and a vow never to retreat." They held the line, effectively buying time for the Allied forces to consolidate their positions and crucially halting the decisive German advance. They were the firefighters who doused the flames threatening to engulf the front. But the trenches were an indiscriminate meat grinder, and Indian soldiers suffered grievous casualties just like any others. Over 140,000 were wounded. Specialized field hospitals were established, notably in Brighton, England, to cater to the strict religious and dietary requirements of Muslim, Sikh, and Hindu soldiers. While a commendable effort to respect their culture, it also served as a stark reminder that they were in a foreign land, fighting a war that was not intrinsically their own. The true poignancy of their story lies in this quiet sacrifice. Severely wounded, they could not simply return home. Instead, they endured prolonged agony and profound homesickness. Imagine a young man from Rajasthan, seeing snow for the very first time, now lying in a Brighton hospital, suffering from shrapnel wounds, his only solace to dream of his homeland son. A Gurkha soldier, Jagat Singh, was awarded the Victoria Cross VC, Britain's highest military honor, for exceptional bravery. He charged a German machine gun nest armed with only a knife. Such acts of incredible courage became emblematic of the entire Indian Expeditionary Force. However, after the war concluded in 1918, their remarkable stories swiftly faded into obscurity. They had fought with distinction at Ypres, the Somme, Gallipoli, and across the Middle Eastern fronts. Over 74,000 Indian soldiers made the ultimate sacrifice for an empire that was not their own. They played a decisive role, yet history largely chose to forget their sacrifice. They returned home to promises of change, only to face even tighter British control. They had fought for the freedom of Europe, but freedom for their own nation remained a distant, elusive dream. These are the forgotten warriors. Those who left their indelible footprints in the muddy trenches, yet were denied their rightful place in mainstream historical memory. If you found the story of these brave and quietly sacrificing Indian soldiers meaningful, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support fuels our passion to uncover and share other forgotten historical truths. And help us spread this story further by sharing it with others. Thank you. What ultimately became of the British Empire's promises to India after the war? And how did this immense sacrifice influence India's subsequent independence movement? We invite you to share your thoughts in the comments section below.